from the edge of the Great Red Divide, from that little blue island in the middle of America. This is the Heartland Mamas podcast. I'm your host, Heidi Henry. Let's talk about day 18 in the reign of Orange Caligula, shall we? Ladies have to make babies to be able to get to work. It's another what the actual fuck day in America, and our country is under siege. We are in the middle of the great coup of Elon Musk right at this moment. But he's not elected, he's not appointed, and he doesn't have a security clearance. But for some reason, he gets to make a lot of decisions. So let me tell you about what Fuhrer Trump has planned for you now. Ladies, remember, you are being protected by Trump, a 34-time convicted felon, whether you want him to or not. So Trump has a new transportation secretary. His name is Sean Duffy. And he's the man that oversaw 3 plane crashes in 3 days after he'd gone 16 years without a plane crash. But Sean could get it done 3 in 3 days. That's amazing. And he's decided to allocate federal infrastructure funds by marriage and birth rates because that makes sense, right? Wrong, as always. So let's recap this. Sean Duffy will be allocating federal funds from the U.S. Department of Transportation to cities that have the highest marriage and birth rates, not by need, not by age, not by impact, but by sex that produces children. So, if your bridges are falling down, you'd better get busy and do not have sex, ladies, with any man unless you have been to the altar to make it legal. No matter how much he begs, no matter how you feel, you all have to make the wedding vows in front of God and everybody to safely travel to and from work. Ladies, you have to understand that they are not going to give you any paid time off to have a baby. They're not going to require that you have bonding time with the baby before you dump it off at the sitter because you've got to get back to work to pay your medical bills from having this baby. They're not going to give you any insurance to have the baby with, no prenatal or postnatal care. They're not going to make sure you are paid the same as your male counterpart because that would be, oh my God, DEI. They are going to make sure you can afford the baby. They're not going to make sure that you can afford this baby or the 15 other babies they want you to have to support your local infrastructure. So they expect you to have all these babies to support local infrastructure. It's just asinine, but that's what they think. And to top it off, they're dissolving the Department of Education, so you won't even be able to count on public schools to be able to educate your child. That means more child care for you and stupider kids for this nation. They merely want you to produce a workforce that they can get to work ASAP. And I mean, they have to roll back all child labor laws because they are mass deporting all the brown people from these United States. Someone has to pick the crops, so it'll be up to you, Mama, to squeeze out as many farm workers as you possibly can as fast as you can. And when they are old enough, they will put them into apprenticeships in the trades because after they break up all the unions, that Trump and company decision-making brain trust, and I use that phrase wildly lightly, they believe any child can build houses, lay bricks, wire buildings, and put in the HVAC. There won't be any labor unions, so they might as well use these kids. There's no future for your child except in manual labor all of their very short lives. All their very short and very unfulfilled lives. They're just little workhorses. But you did your part for infrastructure, Mom and Dad, by mass producing white American babies for your Lord and Master Orange Caligula. They will need you to fill out the forms online, letting them know your most fertile time so they can plan construction accordingly. Failure to do so will cause forced impregnation using Elon Musk's supposedly superior semen. That is so gross. Anyway, if you want your roads paved, Mom and Dad, you must do your part. Want safe air travel you won't be able to afford? Please remember that Roll in the Hay or the Mile High Club must produce a white baby, or Sean Duffy will take his eyes off the skies again and ram a few planes together just to get your attention. It also sounds like Sean Duffy intends to single out, if you will, babies that are born out of wedlock. It's like it's the 1950s again. And dole out less funding for infrastructure if the babies are born to parents that are not united in wedlock. So it's shotgun weddings for everyone. This raises a memory for me of the Reverend Sun Young Moon. He used to hold mass marriages in sports stadiums. Tens of thousands of people getting married at once just to please their Lord and Master. Is this where we're heading, Sean Duffy? I think so. This leaves no room for those that adopt to help the cause of paved roads. They are not counted, and the kids that end up in foster care, well, they're just able to go to work a little sooner because who cares about them? That's what they think anyway. They will be able to go to work as soon as they can pull a screwdriver out of their diaper, just like little Tommy Pickles of the Rugrats. Ideologies of religion and reproduction are now making transit plans. It seriously boggles the mind. Now, if you examine where big cities are, and I mean the behemoths of money and public transportation usage, those are all in the blue states. Those blue states have people with more education by and large, and they also have fewer marriages and fewer births. I'm not sure how that ties together. I think we've talked about that topic another time, but women that don't need men to support them are less likely to get married. Men don't feel the need to get married. Everybody kind of just does their own thing, and everybody's really happy here. So I don't know why they think that that goes together. Could this birth for infrastructure policy be just a way to get back at people who cannot stand Trump and company in the blue states? I think this is the most likely scenario. Trump likes to hurt and harm. That's what he leads with. That's what he's best at. But this could also backfire. The big cities in America, the big blue cities, produce the most financially for the USA. They carry on their backs the finances of the nation. And if they do not pay in, this entire Trump house of cards will fail as fast as a Trump casino. And these big money producing cities need to repair their own infrastructure. And Mississippi is not paying in, but they are having lots of babies at $7.50 an hour, and they will get lots of transit dollars. The big cities may have to keep their money and tell Trump and Duffy to finance it some other way. Listen, until the big blue states pull the plug on financing this farce, Trump and Duffy get to force marriages, roll back child marriage and labor laws, traffic brown children of parents that were deported, and make this world as miserable a place to live as can be. So will they? We are in a constitutional crisis right at this moment. With the Musk coup d'etat, I must say the flow of money now, blue states. Stop it. Stop the flow of money, blue states. Stop it now and bring them to their knees. Defund Musk's coup d'etat. From the edge of the Great Red Divide, from the little blue island in the middle of America, straight to your ears. This has been the Heartland Mamas podcast. I'm your host, Heidi Henry. I will see you tomorrow.